A recipe book, an important book to making the best dish. Without a recipe, you would have to do a lot of guessing and hope for the best. The Bible, a very important book into making you who you are. Without it, you would have to do a lot of guessing and hope for the best. God gave us His Word for a reason. One night, my little boy asked his dad to sit down with him and teach him about the children of Israel. I thought that was funny coming from a 7-year-old, but I sat and listened as they opened their Bibles and began to read. I then started to reflect upon my own heart, and as I listened, I realized how lack of faith, obedience, and not living in the will of God can cost you so much. Those are 3 very important ingredients in the recipe to making you who God called you to be. God called Moses to deliver the Israelites from Egypt, and let me tell you, this would not have been a job Moses could have done alone. He had help. When you go back and read the whole journey and how God made a way, you would be in awe. God promised the children of Israel a land that floweth with milk and honey. But due to the lack of faith and obedience, a journey that should have only taken 11 days took 40 years. God wanted the children to enjoy all the things He had for them, but instead of a choice that they made, caused them to wander in the wilderness for these 40 years. Moses had carried the children as far as he could go. Due to his lack of faith, God did not allow him into the promised land. Moses let the people know that he had reached 120 years old, and he could no longer lead them. And the Lord saith unto me, Thou shalt not go over this Jordan. He let the people know, the Lord thy God, He will go over before thee, and He will destroy the nations from before thee, and thou shalt possess them. And Joshua, he shall go over before thee, as the Lord hath said. God will always make good on His promises. God's plan does not rely on one human leader. Instead, God's plan depends only on God's power to fulfill His own promises to His people. Moses made the next generation a priority. He tells the nation to be obedient to God. We should do as Moses did. We need not to rely solely on the pastor to open up the Word of God and relay the message to us. We are truly limiting ourselves. How will we ever know how to be in the will of God if we do not open His Word? How will the next generation know how to be in the will of God if we do not teach them to open their Bibles? How will they know the meaning of the words within the Bible if we do not make it a priority to teach them? If this does not become a priority, then we are failing as Christians.